America was on the verge of being completely destroyed by a gang of very powerful criminals who had made their way right into the heart of power. We didn't notice because they had become our most trusted leaders, entertainers, and politicians. But then things changed. In 2016, patriots in the U.S. military took back power legitimately with the election of Donald Trump. Plunged directly into the damage and sickening destruction caused to America and the world, they got to work dismantling the branches of this powerful secret shadow government that was in the process of siphoning off America's vast wealth to their global masters. After 2 years of a dramatic covert operation that was to include the gutting of the corrupt CIA, FBI, and Justice Department, they now face the last remaining pillar of the deep state, their vast media empire. They were using this unparalleled power to confuse the people of the world and distract from their criminality and subversion. They recognized that division and hate among people was the most effective way to keep us occupied and ignorant while they robbed us blind, engineered senseless trade deals, and destroyed distant lands for their own personal gain. The mainstream media, both in America and beyond, now remains the gravest threat to the people of the world. The battle for the American soul began in October 2017 with an NSA intelligence operation that we call Q. For the first time, the people were shown the reality of the world they live in, the extent of the corruption and crime that had been destroying their society for decades. Most of all, it showed them the path to their own liberation. Finally, on July 31st, 2018, in Tampa, Florida, President Donald Trump, avoiding the corrupt media channels by speaking directly to the people, would allow Q followers to display their support publicly. This deliberate action forced the deep state media to cover the story, as not doing so would raise a level of curiosity that could lead to a devastating mass awakening. To defend against this, they joined together in an unprecedented combined global mass media assault against Q, hoping they could deter the public from discovering the truth about our world. They call it a conspiracy, a word associated with unlawful or nefarious actions, depicting Q followers as a danger to society instead of peace-loving patriots just trying to break free from the prison of the mind that was created for them. Their attack on Q was to be just one of countless knowingly false narratives started and pushed by the criminals that control our media. They said Trump colluded with Russia to win the 2016 presidential election. They said he was a puppet to Putin. They claimed he would hurt relationships with our allies. They said he would collapse the economy and the stock market. We heard he was about to go to war with North Korea. They are saying he will do the same with Iran. They even said he would destroy the whole world. These fake narratives kept on coming, and they spread them with full knowledge that they were lies meant to stop the one force that could end them for good. It's time the American people and those all over the world ask themselves what is really going on. What are the people who control our media afraid of? What are they hiding? If you look, you will discover that the fake news media is not free or independent. You will see it is just a propaganda arm of the deep state. You will discover the names and faces of the cabal agents who have colluded to destroy our republic and bend us to their will. They want you divided. Divided by race. Divided by religion. Divided by political affiliation. They want this because divided you are weak. Together you are strong. It's time to research for yourself. You will find many things, among them an unprecedented number of sealed indictments filed in preparation for a mass arrest event. You will also discover an unprecedented list of corrupt CEOs who have recently been removed from their posts. You will see the same in the Senate and in Congress. And you will see the same at the top of the FBI and the Justice Department. This movement is not about one person or a group of people. It is about we, the people. The world is currently witnessing the largest mass treason event in living history. But instead of being fearful, we should be filled with hope. Instead of fighting among ourselves, we should face our only true enemy, the criminal deep state and their once invincible mainstream media apparatus. Do you want to free yourself? It's easy. Follow Q and turn them off.
We will be back in some form.
We have an army of digital soldiers, because this was an insurgency.
Hundreds dead, thousands infected across multiple continents.
You guys know what this represents?
All the people that have gone out there against the mainstream media and said, you're going to call us racist, you're going to call us potential Timothy McVeighs, you are.
right. Hope you patriots out there kicking ass and taking names. Welcome to the party, folks, to PatriotPartyNews.com. I am your host, Chaz Carter, better known as Underground Patriot, coming to you live from the Wolf Den, folks. Greetings and salutations. I hope everyone is having a wonderful, wonderful night. Hey, let's go ahead and shake up the algorithm. Let us know where you're watching us from. Hello. How are you? So all the hellos and all the chats. Good to see everybody. Let us know where you are coming from. And look, I'm seeing Alabama is in the house. Alabama is in the house. And by the way, I'm reading exactly what I'm seeing here. Newport, Kentucky, Jersey. There you are, brother. How the heck are you? See everybody. Man, it's been a little cray-cray with the technology. What's up, Wisconsin's in the house? Good to have you. Louisiana is checking in. Burleston, freaking Texas, yeah, right? There we go. Texas. I knew it was coming. North Carolina, South Carolina, Connecticut, Idaho, Michigan. What's up? Cali's in the house. Washington State's in the house. Cali's in the house. Texas. New Mexico just kicked in the door. Arkansas is saying hello. Good to see everybody. Go Dogs. Georgia in the house. Good to see you. Right? Michigan. Idaho. Iowa. South Dakota. New York, Fort Worth, Texas. Go Dogs, Georgia in that house. Yeah, Mississippi Queen, Michigan. Good to have everybody. Ohio, finally. Northern Ontario, eh? Louisiana's in the house. Georgia, Go Dogs is in the house. What's up, Florida? Go Dogs, Georgia in the house, Mississippi, Texas, Alabama, Tennessee, right? Calgary, hey, good to have you. Awesome. Well, listen, as you know, this is where the cool cats go to get their daily intel, news, and bread. That's right. It's PatriotPartyNews.com, folks. We're more than just a website. We are a full-functioning badassery Patriot Broadcasting Network, broadcasting around the world 24 freaking 7. Don't forget, you can actually donate to the cause, and we would sure appreciate it. You can go to the menu section if you're on your phone, or you can go to your desktop and click the red Donate Now button. It would help us out with our server storage. Oh, yes. They might have the internet down lock and key, but we still have our own servers, and let me tell you something. It feels good knowing that we have our stuff and nobody can mess with it. And that's what's important at the end of the day, because there's a lot of manipulation going on across the board. Also, folks, another way that you can actually help us and help yourself too, by the way, is some of the cutting edge stuff we got on Patriot Shoot. You need to go to join.patriotshoot.com. Join.patriotshoot.com right now, and you can join for free right now. Take advantage of this. The reason why we're doing this, because we want people to get a taste out of all the AI mumbo jumbo that's out in the world, and people think they're getting intel on certain things. It turns out to be 100% fake. Yeah, it's happening, isn't it? We're going to talk a lot about AI tonight, and it's going to get gooder. I promise you that. Also, folks, with Patriot Shoot, you get access to our state groups. You get access to our voice chat platforms. You get access to real human beings that care about this world. You get access to our RV chat. You get access. I could go down the whole list. Humanitarian Projects Room, by the way, that is lighting up like a Christmas tree. Everybody's putting their projects in. If you haven't seen it yet, it's pretty cool. And we're also talking about it in different forms as well on the platform. There's all kinds of good stuff in there. And also our military room, which is we got a retired military in there. Lots of communication on the back channels. It's amazing. You need to go to join.patriotshoot.com right now. And it's pretty freaking cool. Needless to say. Also, folks, our partners are incredible. You can go to our website and be able to get access to them as well. And coolness. So I see Warren is in the studio. Let me go ahead and bring him in. What up?
What's up?
Man.
Long time no see.
Yeah, man. World travelers here. Well, I might as well go ahead and ask you the question. What's your thoughts on Israel right now with what they're doing with bombing everything under the sun?
Well, we know that Israel is, I think this is, a pretty serious moment here where I think everybody's got to learn. It's got to be out there just how nasty, just how nasty they really are and things. It's been, a lot of people don't understand that, don't quite know that, and it sucks. It sucks that to know that they are just as freaking nasty as anybody. They're terrible, and I think that this is going to be the straw that broke the camel's back. You think
Trump set him up? Do you think Trump? I think Trump's a genius for doing what he did. I think he's drawing it out to where it's showing Israel doing the wrong, and things are happening right now. It seems like it's happened naturally. That's a positive thing. Okay, and I was talking about that earlier today on the show. But it seems like now we're seeing Russia coming in towards they're bringing all of their destroyers and they're coming in around Europe, and we'll be talking about that as well. But it's nothing new that we didn't know was going to happen, especially now with everything happening with them closing the strait and nothing's coming through. You're seeing all of these people talking about Trump either having dementia or there's something, going on with that. But I will tell you, a lot of things are not adding up because we're being told one thing. It's like the press secretary today was telling us that the strait is completely open. You've got people going live and showing it firsthand that it's not the case. And a lot of people are kind of like you were talking about before with confusion. That's where a lot of it's coming from. And I know that also there's a lot of psyops being played. You're not going to let the enemy know what you're doing. And I get all that. But at the end of the day, a lot of folks are kind of figuring out things are not what they claim to be anymore.
No, they're what we said they were going to be back a long time ago. There was going to be deception. There's going to be all this craziness that you're not going to understand because we're used to somebody, a president saying, yeah, we're gonna bomb them on Tuesday at 3:00, and then the other team being ready, and then for sure going in there and putting our people out there to just have issues. And people are also not used to us going in like we did in Venezuela and not going in there to take over and kill and maim and have their natural resources, just like we're not doing with Iran. We're used to it being 10-year, 20-year wars. It's totally different because we've got a different president. We've got a different thinking. We're not part of the cabal. We're everything we're doing is against the British Empire, the City of London, which means you're also that's the exact same as being against Israel, and the exact same thing as being against Iran. And we've always said that Russia, they're not going to be our enemies. They're a bunch of Christians, man. But just like here, they want to get black against white, Christian against non-Christian, men against woman. That's what they're doing. It's all manipulation, So, yeah, I feel like the things that we talked about for 5-6 years before Trump came into office, that's the stuff that on my deal, it's all adding up. It's all exactly what we said. Maybe not exactly how we thought it was going to go out. I've been kind of not confused, but how is that going to happen? How is that going to happen? Oh, okay. Russia is going to go into Ukraine and then the Baltic states, and then and then he's going to have maybe Europe, and NATO is going to get taken out, and BRICS is going to do all right. But then we see Russia also still trading in the fiat dollar. So it's a lot of confusion, and it should be. I hope anybody that's not confused, you're not watching the right thing, because it doesn't add up, and that's part of it. That is just part of it.
In your files, do you have anything going to talking about Operation Trust by chance?
Not that I remember.
Okay, so Operation Trust is pretty much the Q movement, where everybody is it has been compartmentalized in a section that they're feeding us exactly what is happening, and it's the truth. Yeah. However, it's keeping all of us at bay that would be the ones that perhaps would overthrow our own government. And it's been kind of wild studying and seeing how this is actually happening. But what's wild now is I'm seeing, like, for instance, Michael Flynn is coming out the woodwork and is doing totally the opposite of what was said before. His son is backing up everything now in terms of what the heck is going on with Trump. And could it be that it's 5G warfare? Possibly, but I doubt it, because
I think it is. I think it is. I think that I know that Flynn hasn't been read into the whole thing, but he's been read into a lot. He's in that top tier, just below maybe 200 generals, but he'll never know everything. But he's keeping everybody going. What's going on, fighting. Whether people are mad or happy or whatever, he's keeping confusion going. He's doing his job. He's a teacher that teaches spooks how to be spooks.
So when Flynn was putting out ex post all over the place, tagging Trump, tagging everybody, we're seeing people that everyone said that Bondi was good, and look what happened to Bondi. Gone. Period.
Well,
guess who else is on the chopping block? You're going to have Cash. Yeah. You're going to have several different others as well. And could that be part of an interior plan? I'm not saying no to that. I'm even open-minded to that. But what it's doing, in my personal opinion, it is ruining credibility. And we got to get credibility. I think we all can agree with that. We got to have credibility.
So I believe I have to go with it. Still, all this up there is psychological warfare. My understanding from people that are talking to Bondi and have been talking to Tulsi and all of them on a pretty regular basis, is that, and not, this wasn't coming from them, but thoughts are that when Trump went in there, just like in his first term, man, he couldn't trust anybody. So what he did is he grabbed some folks that would be there could do what they're supposed to do, could get the thing going, but that they might not turn out to be the ones that end up in there at the end, because he was just taking people that, man, anybody that had not gone against him, who has not just freaking slapped me across the face.
Well, that's the way I feel about the Epstein files, because we based everything upon the Epstein files, and what's happening? They're still hiding who's really involved. And this is people that we are following with. And that, it's about the children at the end of the day. And we talk about this a good little bit. That's where I get a little bit heated, because that makes zero sense when that's what he ran his campaign on, Warren. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Do you feel that's a psyop?
Well, I feel that everybody that knows that they're in trouble from that are hiding out. it's keeping them at bay. They are making plans and telling on themselves by buying houses in other places and trying to get going to live in places that, won't extradite. And where they would go to, the ones that are bad, they would go to the Red Brigades. That's part of the probably 40 or so groups that would be sects under the Club of Rome and the Committee of 300, the British Empire. So they are the ones that have hideouts. They're in charge of the hideouts as far as if somebody's in trouble, that's where you go, to the old mansions, and they've got them all over the world.
So is that what Trump is doing when he said that to Marjorie Taylor Greene, saying if we did this, it would destroy the world? Is that?
No, I mean, okay. I just believe that we've got to get through some things. I know, and I think we all know that the Epstein stuff's coming out. It's just this deal is coming out in an order that was originally a plan. The way this, in my opinion, the way this works is in a normal group, whether it be the Committee of 300, the Trump's people, they're sitting around a round table and they are discussing with generals who are war fighters and have the minds like General Flynn. And they're saying, okay, if we do this and this, we've got to do this, 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 and this. And what order does it go in? What will be the best? And you've got the top minds in the world sitting there saying that. And in the middle of that table, there's a speaker that will send that all through an algorithm. And it says, and they come up with their plan. And then all of a sudden, after they come up with that, they check that algorithm. And it will tell them how to, just like they will do with an executive order. On an executive order, they say, we need this, 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 and this. And then this law, the number one law that they put in the first spot, and the number two law, number one might make number 3 and 4 work, and number 2 might give more authority to the first one that did, and then it might be also taking care of number 8, and they all work together, but they've got to be in order. So this is an algorithm that we're dealing with, and a bunch of the think tanks. If you've ever heard of think tanks and round tables, this is what they're doing. So I don't dare think that that's not going to come out. I mean, that's what we're all working for. We're all saying it needs to come out, but it's got to come out in order so that things work. Why is that happening? To keep those people that are bad thinking and having freaking heart attacks and blood pressure going up, and they're tripping out knowing they're going to get hung maybe. And that's probably a bad place to be. And it probably makes it harder for you to hurt. And also whistleblowers are coming in from everywhere like crazy. And the more whistleblowers you've got, the better off you are. So I don't know.
Did you happen to check General Flynn's Q&A he had today? Yeah, that's a good one. If you get opportunity, y'all need to go over to.
Is it long?
Huh?
Is it long? Is it?
It's about an hour and a half.
Okay.
But, I didn't watch every single thing, but it's going into detail with a lot of what's happening with the confusion and everything. And I mean, when you got folks saying publicly that they truly now don't know what's going on, when before there was a clear-cut path, that's pretty telling. Seriously.
That's kind of like, man, I knew this executive order was going to come out. I'd been talking about it forever. And then it came out and it wasn't what I wanted. And then all of a sudden I talked to Martine Rodil and Patrick Byrne and some other people, and they said, yeah, it's going to come out in pieces. I don't know if we agree with it. It kind of sucks, because even people that I talk to that I believe are talking to people in Trump's cabinet and Trump himself are like, I don't know, that getting aggravated. And I believe that's what's going to happen.
That's what's interesting is I talked to 3 people in the White House press corps. And one of them in particular was talking about how so much in the White House is compromised by Israel, even Trump's administration. and where they're not allowed to talk about anything. It has to be 100% pro-Israel, period. And if they go beyond that, they will be kicked out of the press corps. And I was like, why is this? Huh?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
They are so powerful.
That's a discernment of mine. When you see that happening, where we're supporting, another state, foreign state or foreign entity, and it's getting worse, it seems like, because we ain't controlling Israel. Look what they're doing. I thought that Bibi dude was dead. I guess he is. I don't know, because we're seeing all this crazy AI. And speaking of AI, have you heard about this? Where they're scanning, when you're driving down the road and you see those cameras on the interstate, and they're just saying hi to you. They're looking at you. So what is happening? There's people getting arrested, and they haven't done a crime because AI messed up and thought they were doing all kind of crimes in different states, and it's starting to happen, Warren, and it's kind of concerning. It's crazy. It's super crazy.
Well, going back to Israel, look, we know they've been all in our system forever, and now for the last year and however long he's been there, he's fighting it. And finally, we've got to that point where they just got brought out in front of everybody. What are they doing over there? Trump said stop in Iran. They're not. Yeah, they're all in it. And as far as the people that are compromised, yeah, there are. Oh, there's definitely, we know there's people compromised. And that's what we're sniffing out, I believe. Plus the Constitution, in my opinion, is suspended. Plus the Bill of Rights is probably suspended. Plus we are.
Let me ask you, since you're saying that. So you're saying that the Constitution is suspended right now?
If we're in continuity of government, it is.
But are we in continuity of government? I
believe we are.
Okay, but we don't.
Do we have to have been on April 2020, April 1st, I believe, 2020. I think I can't remember exactly, or maybe May 20th. I can't remember. I've got it somewhere.
Okay.
He's alleged that. That's where he says I was 45, 46, and 47. And where he has said, look, I can do something. I've got all the power in the world. I can do anything I want. And that's because, we were talking about that for a long time, the PEDS, continuity of government, things like that. Yeah, I've always thought that that's a very good possibility.
Gotcha. Man, I wouldn't be surprised, and I don't wish this, but I got a little sneaking suspicion that we're going to see J.D. Vance as a president very, very soon, with everything that's going on right now. And there's some things that are not adding up. I know Trump's got doubles, but his hair is different. Face is a little bit different. Is it because they're afraid of him being assassinated by somebody from Iran, or is it somebody from the CIA?
Every president, in my opinion, has always had at least two. Every president, every ruler, every rock star, you know what I mean? That I believe that has always been the case. Now, I haven't studied that a lot because it's not something I can control and I can tell and stuff like. I have to call you. Sure. Hey, man, is that freaking? So I don't deal with that.
It's gone to another whole level now. That's what's so scary,
comfortable, man, with the plan. And if something doesn't go my way, that I will think it's going to go. If in the next day or two things kind of chill out and I get the answer that halfway works, I gotta continue on with my mission.
Mm-hmm. So here's Benjamin Netanyahu here, and I'm pretty confident he's gone. This is AI, but this is the message that they're trying to put out with everyone. And a lot of the news outlets are also sharing the exact same one as well here.
And Israel is stronger than ever. This is the bottom line of this campaign up until now. Let me say, there are still additional objectives for us to achieve, and we will achieve them either by agreement or by resumption of the fighting. We are ready to resume the fighting at any moment. Our finger is on the trigger. As you know, 2-week ceasefire has been announced between the U.S. and Iran. No, we were not surprised in the last moment, and I want to emphasize this is not the end of the war. This is
Also, Oathkeeper Bill, go read in detail the Genius Act and the Big Beautiful Bill and see how it's connected with AI and what we've been talking about. That's a great point. I'm glad you brought that up. Everybody needs to check that out, the Genius Act within the Big Beautiful Bill with AI. So, yeah, Benjamin Netanyahu is rejecting President Trump's ceasefire. He's already has already bombed Lebanon, and now they've already hit, while the press secretary was speaking today live, they hit Iran. And so now you kind of look at that, and you're like, well, how are you able? I mean, they're talking about nukes are being brought up again, Warren.
Yeah.
And I get it. People are like, oh, that's psychological warfare. Maybe so, but I do know this. We can't control Israel. We're compromised by Israel, and that's what's happening. And what do?
You understand in your mind that we live in a world that has been shaped with things hidden right in plain sight.
Right.
That Israel is not necessarily just a country that had tragedy like crazy and then had land given to them that they were supposed to have in the past. It is a central player in a global freaking network designed to reshape the entire world through dominating, through ambition, through freaking symbolism, and they are freaking nasty. And we are fighting them, not just through military, but through political dialogue. And, the thing is, people don't know that. We know that. We understand that. But right now, just like Epstein stuff had to get exposed, so does this. This all has to be exposed. The Zionism, because in mainstream, history's portrays Zionism as just a movement, kind of like going back to their homeland. They ain't got nothing to do with Jew. It is a freaking nasty group that has to be exposed, and that's, in my opinion, what's going on. And it's a waiting game. It's a freaking, they had to do something, and I believe something like this is big, and I wouldn't doubt anything you're saying as far as if that's not BB, that makes total sense.
It's just like Todd Blanche coming out today and said the Epstein files are closed.
Or what?
The Epstein files are closed, meaning there ain't no more coming out. That's why Massey is going after them, because they refuse to release them. It's just more of the same with that. But this is something that was interesting. You're talking about McNasty's here. A homosexual hookup dating app, Grindr, is set to host its first White House Correspondents' Dinner with MAGA Republicans on April 24th of 2026. How do you feel about that?
I think it's freaking crazy. Who set that up?
Republicans in the White House.
Oh, you mean Republicans are bad too? Yep.
MAGA Republicans here is what
okay. If there are Republicans in the White House, they are not, I could not call them MAGA. They might say they're MAGA, but okay, there are not any
our president's in the White House. He's got control. I don't see how he could not say, hey, I don't want that in the White House.
It doesn't necessarily work like that. I mean, or all his bills would be going through, and
it's just like Congress with
all the rhinos.
Trump can go through Congress to be able to go and instantly hit Iran. Same difference.
Okay, the same difference as this thing.
Well, yeah, decisions in terms of it doesn't work that way. Just like with Iran not going through Congress, and
I just feel like it takes time for bills to pass, for things to happen. It doesn't just happen overnight.
I just don't understand why they're doing this, Warren, is what I'm getting at. I'm not, upset at nobody. I'm asking to kind of figure this out.
I'm telling you, it takes time. These crazy rhinos are part of the British imperial empire. They are in battle with Trump. all of those Republicans are bought and nasty. Every single one of them.
Yes, sir.
And
it's both sides, 100%, no doubt.
Now, put it this way: if Trump gets Bondi in there because he couldn't get anybody else in there, they would not let him get anybody else. They've got to vote on that and say yes. And the Republicans are as nasty as the rest of them. Trump is, man. So, that's just the way it happens. It doesn't. Nothing happens good. This is going to be a long haul, man. It's going to suck, dude. It's going to be terrible. So every little thing that you're talking about, yes, I understand why someone would.
But do you agree with the mindset maybe someone like myself would feel seeing that? Do you agree with that?
Well, agree that what?
I mean, that's kind of jacked up having that at the White House, especially if, you know what I mean? That's just jacked up.
I think it's jacked up. I think it's jacked up, but it takes time to get it to work. We've always known it's jacked up. I've known it for 30 years that it's jacked up. Yes, it's jacked up, but Trump can't go in there and just boom, snap his fingers. Now, when he does a national election emergency or something like that, when things change like that, yes, I believe he can. And then that goes back to what's going on with the continuity of government. The continuity of government means that the military is in charge, but they're not getting into all of the little things. They are keeping the world run, the United States running. They're not going in and taking out the Republicans until the commander in chief says, all right, it's time. So it's just not done yet. But everything you're saying makes sense if somebody didn't know that it takes time and that it's not going to happen right now. You know what I'm saying?
Takes time exactly on what? Having Grindr in the White House and being able to do that? Is that what you're
everything.
saying?
Yeah, all that. Yeah, I guarantee you Trump didn't set that up.
No, of course. I'm not saying he did, but I mean, for heaven's sakes, I mean, it's just like what Oathkeeper Bill just said in the chat, LOL, central casting. Okay. Maybe
that would be something like if you're aggravated about it, well, then hopefully everyone's aggravated about it and they will get as upset about it as you do. I hope that's what happens to expose these people because they're still, how long it takes to wake people up. They don't even know it. They have no idea. They would never see this thing about Grindr unless it's exposed,
Right.
But I can't blame it on Trump for having Grindr in there.
Well, I'm not necessarily blaming it on Trump, but it's part of the administration. I can't go and knock on the White House and say, hey, can I come in? There is a process, and I agree with that. It's the same thing with Easter when he had events there for Easter, and there were strange things happening there at Easter on top of that. And then look, we were just talking about Bondi, and it's saying former Attorney General Pam Bondi will not testify scheduled on April 14th before the House Oversight Committee regarding the DOJ's handling of the Epstein files. It's the same memo. Now, it says the subpoena applied only to Bondi in her official capacity as an AG, so it no longer obligates her to appear now that she holds no government position. And from what we're hearing, she's going into the private sector. I don't know exactly what, but that's what we're hearing. Or that's what they said. That's what some of the press corps people were talking about.
Yeah, that means she could go into business anywhere or become a contractor or isn't she a lawyer and stuff? So,
Right. What about Alex Jones? Have you watched any of Alex Jones' stuff here lately?
Yeah. Seen some of it. He's is he the one talking about the 25th Amendment?
He was talking about that, and also let me see if I can pull it up. It was
if I wonder what he thinks if the 25th Amendment.
He's the one saying that Trump's got to
replace Trump. You know what I mean?
He's the one that's saying that Trump has dementia. That's kind of a trip.
That'd be ridiculous.
Yeah, it's of course you got Rudy Giuliani coming forward, and he's saying urgent news: the Iranian regime launched a new wave of missiles towards Israel 10 minutes after President Trump announced a 2-week pause in military operations. The video renews concerns that the Iranian regime cannot be trusted to negotiate in good faith, but they still got missiles, don't they? And they still shooting them, aren't they? And they ain't destroyed all of it. I know they keep on saying that we destroyed the Air Force and Navy and this and that and whatever. Mm-hmm. How are they able still to target Israel and still doing what they're doing? I mean, this is right after Lebanon got hit. And they
how what now? What was the question?
Trump and everybody has said, including Pete Hegseth, has said the military has totally been taken out. If that is true,
decimated it.
How come they're able to do this?
Well, man, that's a pretty big place, and they've been making missiles and things for a long time. When I say decimated, if somebody goes in there, they're going to be launching stuff up. And what we do, they can get a missile off, but what it amounts to is once they do it, we go in and hit that place. Well, then, they've got another one over here, but they can't do any kind of offensive thing. They're just launching stuff, from what I understand.
And they're still launching. That's what's crazy. It's still happening. It's nuts.
They're going to. They're going to. It's war,
right.
And they've got missiles, so they're going to launch them. You know what I mean? It just is what it is. It just sucks,
right.
But it's I don't know. Just is what it is.
Well, it's interesting. Like I said, here is Michael Flynn Jr. coming forward and pressing a lot of the stuff. I know Piers Morgan is not the best necessary person to really hear stuff from. I know Megyn Kelly's been pretty on point. I want to play this and see what your thoughts are on this.
Trump watched us learn it. And so what led Trump, at 79 years old, to sit in there in that situation room when Bibi Netanyahu was seated as an equal?
Yeah.
Trump didn't even sit at the head of the table. Trump sat at the side of the table, and Bibi was across from him as an equal in the American Situation Room. What led him to sit there and buy what that guy was selling hook, line, and sinker when every other president was able to see through that liar? What was it? Because he was told the next day by our own top advisors, from the chairman of the Joint Chiefs to the Secretary of State to the vice president, that these are lies and that these objectives are not going to be attainable. Don't believe him. We might be able to wipe out the Ayatollah, not regime change, Ayatollah. And we might be able to decimate some portion of their missiles and their military. Okay, that's true. But the goals as stated by Trump when we actually did pull the trigger were all over the board. And to this moment, he's pushing the BS claim that we affected regime change. No, we didn't. It's the same regime, just different players. There isn't somebody more moderate in there at all. We have no reason to believe that. In fact, it looks like the Iranian Revolutionary Guard is in control now, which is far more radical. And the fatwa that had allegedly been issued by the Ayatollah on developing nukes is gone. Iran is more powerful economically. It controls the strait and now is demanding the lifting of all sanctions against it. And what Trump did with that 10-point plan was go from Monday saying, no, not good, to Tuesday saying, very workable, we can do it, as a means of saving face to bail off of his insane threats about annihilating an entire civilization. So I don't know how we got here, Piers. I'd like to know just as much as anybody else, but all I can think in my head, based on what I've read in the paper, is we got here thanks to Bibi Netanyahu, Lindsey Graham, and Mark Levin.
What's your thoughts on that?
I'm not. Lindsey Graham. They're all a bunch of Israel-loving characters, and so are so many in the administration. That have been left over from so many. But I think that everybody we see here, it's all about how bad Trump is and how bad Trump is. And personally, I'm so happy with what's going on, what Trump is doing. I'm proud of him. Everything we've seen right here is about how bad Trump is. I'm not seeing that, man. I see him going after the city of London. I see him doing wonderful things, and there's a lot of stuff breaking down around him, and he's going in there for the kill, but it's going to take some time. So that's where I am.
Cool. Awesomeness. Did you ever do any research on that Trump RX that you were going to do a deep dive on? What we were talking about? No. Okay.
Did you?
Well, I've already have. Yeah, that's what they're doing. What I was telling before with the skinny shots and all that stuff. And of course, I'm still trying to figure out the whole classmates things with that.
Bad stuff.
And that's what I can't seems like we've been had is what it feels like, Warren.
Yeah, I think it will seem like that for a long time, but I don't think that's what's going on. I think that we've got somebody in there that is fighting like a dog, that is getting hit from every angle, that people are dogging him all day, every day. And he's up there spending his life freaking trying to make America great again. That's what I see. I see him not having a lot of help and still doing some really good things. And everything I see is taking out the Lloyds of London and taking out that. I think all that's got to happen first. I think.
Well, he's firing everybody in his administration. I mean, because he's getting bad information, and then people are stepping down. I mean, for whatever reason, you can go and look at his administration in the next 2 weeks. Watch what happens. You're going to see him probably pretty much replace just about everybody because of what's happening.
That's what I've said.
And when that happens, it's the administration that's really getting hit. It's not Trump. Trump's the head of it. Trump controls it. We all agree with that, right? He controls everybody that he's placing in, and he makes the indecision to hit the button to say, "Hey, this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to do it, and this is what the end goal is going to be." Yeah.
The only thing is like, let's say that with a business that I own, a business that person owns, man, there's a lot of stuff coming. Think about 300,000 really crazy things coming at you every day. And all around you, you don't know who to trust. And you're working with generals and things all day, every day to do this really huge thing of changing the world. And then at the same time, you've got people like, what's her name? What's that lady's name that was just on there? Sometimes she's for Trump, sometimes against, but everybody's talking bad about him. People are dogging his family out all day. It's got to suck for him, man.
Well, but it's not too bad because insider trading is going on and they're making a freaking killing money wise. And people can say, "Oh, that's smart business." I don't see any of us having that.
What are you saying is insider trading?
Instantly, what do you think just happened with the oil prices with this being closed? What it's doing to the market? Yeah, we know the market's manipulated, but for who?
For the city of London.
You got somebody that was able to put in, let's say, a $13,000 bet on Polymarket that Israel would come in and they would call off the bombing at 8 p.m. And guess what happened? That exactly happened. Here's another thing. There was $120 million short put into place within about 15 minutes prior to the decision to create the ceasefire. And it was the kind of money that was there that no one would know about at all. Remember, you're not going to tell your enemies what they're doing, right? Where is it coming from? Where's it going to be?
The
obvious, man.
people in the administration, and he's always had that problem.
You got the Trump sons, you got Eric and Jr. that own a drone company. Trump, the day before, canceled with our military the drone contracts and then put the sons in place with their company. And then they're talking about Barron, what he did with the oil. I mean, I wish I could do that for Bentley, but I can't. And I mean, I'm sure you'd want to do something similar like that for Blake. But that's what I'm getting at. I mean, for a regular American to be able to have those type of resources and know and have a crystal ball, I mean, it's not fair at all.
Nothing's fair. None of it's been fair for a long time. None of it. It's freaking terrible. Yeah. But I ain't blaming Trump on it. So that's it.
Well, who do you blame?
Everybody. Everybody in the administration, everybody that didn't wake up, everybody that is sitting on their butts and not doing nothing about it. That's who I blame on it. People that are not out there working, telling their friends about it. You know what I mean? It's hard. It's a hard freaking thing in every deal. But now I believe that Trump's out there just rocking and rolling, and proud of him. And there's a lot of people doing a lot of bad things, and it's it's definitely not just Trump. You know what I mean? That's where
I'm not saying it's just Trump.
That's just what we've talked about. It's just what I'm saying. That's all we've kind of talked about is bad Trump.
No, we've talked about decisions being made, and also the administration as well. Trump hasn't made necessarily all the best moves. I mean, it goes back to what he talked about running for president. He'd release all the Epstein files. That hasn't happened, has it?
No, but I think it will.
Well, but he said it would, didn't he?
Yeah. Did he say it would the first day or the first year? Did
No,
he say a time?
I mean, look at it. And then the other thing is the gloss fakes.
No, hold on. Did he say a time? That's what I want to know. Did he say a time, or does he have 4 years to do it?
Immediately when he got into office, that he would be releasing the Epstein files. Yes, he did. 100%.
And a lot of them I thought were released. How many are not released?
Probably 47,000 that are the main people involved, including all the stuff on Howard Lucknick.
How many are there?
Which is pretty close to him, and several different others.
How many are there? How many?
I think it's around 47,000.
No. You said 47,000 was not open. How many are there in total? You're saying that 47,000 files haven't been.
Correct, because that's the ones that Thomas Massey is after and has been talking to Todd Blanche about, and Todd Blanche refuses to release it, just like Bondi.
Todd Blanche, man, that dude was a Democrat his whole life. That's crazy, isn't it?
And why is he in that position with Trump?
I don't know. I can't tell you. It sucks because he's somebody that was his lawyer, from what I understand, from, let's say, Peter Tickton. Yeah. Peter Tickton wants, we've been talking about it on my show forever. Why is he in there? Why is he in there? And I'm just like, heck, I don't know.
And then talking about him, talk about Tina Peters. Where's Tina right now? Same place. She had what they do with the 9-year sentence. They are doing a resentencing.
Sucks. Then people are bad, aren't they?
Yeah.
The cabal is bad.
And it seems
hard
like
to fight
in mud, and nothing's changing. And see, that's where I feel like we've been told for years the military is in control. Do you still believe the military is in control right now?
Well, what do you call the military in control?
That's a great question. So
let's talk about that. They're not necessarily going to run day-to-day things. They are going to make it where there's not crazy things going on in a town. The United States and the Constitution it's made in case somebody comes in and takes over and does a coup. It's made that, man, it's going to take some time. Like I think they said 2 years to get that even to the point where they can start taking care of it. Our Constitution is kind of like a warning. Hey, this is going to happen. This is going to happen. We're putting all this stuff in place, but it lets things play out. And it's kind of the same as that. There was a guy out of a president out of the Philippines, and that dude he came here for 4 years or something. Ended up his son got killed, and it was continuity of government. It was a kind of similar to apparently what's going on, and the military supposedly was in there, but he had bad military in there. So what I hope is that we've got good military in there, and they're just making it. I mean, nobody's really attacked us. Things are moving along. People are eating. Commerce is happening. And during a takeover right here at the 2030 agenda, when they want to, the Georgia Guidestones said they want all these people to be killed and the depopulation. Man, we're eating. And in certain times that we'd already be in a recession. I mean, like the deal of 1929, the Great Depression. People would just be hopefully eating some potatoes if they're lucky. People dying all over the place. So, man, I know it's bad. I know it sucks, and it's going to get worse.
I agree. I agree with you 1,000,000%.
But that's what it takes to turn this thing around.
But how bad is it going to get? I mean, till we see military stepping in. I mean, you got Tina Peters rotting in prison right now.
Bring people to their
doing a
knees.
freaking job. Okay.
Bring
Why isn't Trump putting in a pardon when he's giving pardons to rappers and everybody else under the sun?
He did. He gave her a pardon, and they hadn't done anything about it. Just like with his executive orders.
How are they able to do that and then give her a re-sentencing if he pardoned her? See,
That's what I'm
trying to
saying.
figure out.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. Everybody's trying to figure that out. These lawyers are going so hard to paint for free.
It just sucks.
Peter
Good
Dixon
people are being hurt. That's all.
Trennis and all them are just working so hard on it, and Trump has said, get her out like 5 times, So, man, it's trying. It's just not as easy, I think, as everybody thinks, man.
What was the story? Have we heard anything else from the governor? I know there was big issues there in Colorado with the governor really causing some issues.
Oh, yeah, they suck. They're all terrible.
Is that still the same? Still the same? Probably what they're having to go through.
Yeah, for usually if there's big indictments going down, it's a 2 to 3 year process. We just are trying to speed things along.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a long process, and it sucks.
I'm glad when they shorten it down. So there you go.
Well, maybe down the road they will. I hope that's what happens. I hope a new administration gets in there. Trump, when Trump gets his some good people that he can trust, that are out there working for the goals that we all want. I hope that.
I sure hope so.
That. That's what I'm counting on. If not, I ain't worried about it. We're going to war. We were already going to be in FEMA camps anyways. That was what they were going to do. So we stayed out of the FEMA camp so far. So war sucks, especially when it's on your home turf, and everybody that rules your country is against you. That's a bad thing.
Wait till they start arresting folks like you and me for speaking the truth. Hold on. It's going to be a good one.
I ain't even dealing with that. They have to take me.
I know, but I'm just saying.
That's what they were going to do. So we lasted longer than we were supposed to in their eyes.
True that. I agree with that. Good stuff, brother. You heading over to the talk time?
Yeah.
All right. Appreciate
I'll
you.
get you.
See you, man. Bye.
Oh, no, I ended it. Oh, shoot. I didn't push both of them. Dang, I'm so used to pushing in.
You're fine.
Oh, Lord. If I'd have done that, would it have ended the thing?
Pretty much. We're good.
Okay, well, I only pushed one of them. And that's
See ya. You're funny.
Okay, bye.
Another one in the box, folks. Appreciate you guys. As always, God bless the Republic of the United States of America. And God bless you, patriots. Without you folks, there is no America or world for that matter. Thank you, Warren. Enjoyed it. Hi there, I'm Chaz Carter. Welcome to Patriot Shoot. If you're looking for a censorship-free platform where you can freely express your thoughts and connect with like-minded individuals, then you're in the right place. At Patriot Shoot, we offer more than just a membership. For just $8.99 per month, we provide you with daily intel, weekly giveaways, and access to our exclusive voice chat platform called Patriot Talk, where we have somewhere between 200 to 400 active members just on that alone, discussing a wide range of topics every single day. You'll gain access to our state groups where you can connect with members in your states at a grassroots level. Our community is all about open dialogue and sharing valuable information without the fear of being silenced. Whether it's discussing current events, giving advice, or personal matters, or simply connecting with others on Patriot Shoot, it is the place to be. So what are you waiting for? Join us today. Experience the freedom of speech and just fill out the form below and get started. We cannot wait to have you here with us, and welcome aboard.